Tell me.
I'll just get us started by kind of introducing what we're doing today, and then I'll start asking you the questions. So basically, this is our second go round at our Tappy Press virtual launch party. As everybody is well aware, we have a lot of our events are not going to be held in person this year. So we had 4 new press releases come out here recently, and one of them being the Kraft Recovery Boilers 3rd edition. And so this is just kind of our way to let everybody know, about the book and hear directly from you as the editor. So I'll get us started by introducing myself again. If some of the folks that are here today weren't here last week. So I'm Kristen Whitman. I work for Tappy. I'm the web content manager here. And I'm very happy to be joined today by Honghi Tran. He is the editor of Kraft Recovery Boilers 3rd edition that was recently published by Tappy Press. So Honghi, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, well, you're welcome, Kristen. I'm delighted to be here.
Yeah, so I'd also like to thank our virtual audience that's here on Facebook Live, hopefully joining in with us now since we're hitting right at 11 a.m. So I know you guys are very busy, but we appreciate you taking the time to join us. So we'll be giving away a free copy of the Kraft Recovery Boilers book at the end of the session. But to be entered into that drawing, if you could just please either like, share, or leave a comment on this post, we will include you in that drawing in the end. And if we have some time at the end, after I ask Honghi a few questions here, we might be able to address some of the comments that you have as well. So without further ado, Honghi, I'm very sorry. I know this can be kind of awkward sometimes to kind of introduce you and give your full bio right in front of you, but I'm going to have to do that to let everybody know kind of who you are and why you're here with us today. So Dr. Tran is a professor emeritus for the University of Toronto and was the director of the university's Pulp and Paper Center. A Tappy member since 1980, Dr. Tran is a Tappy Fellow, a Pulp and Paper Technical Association of Canada Fellow, and a Canadian Academy of Engineering Fellow. Honghi received Tappy's highest honor, the Gunnar Nicholson Gold Medal Award in 2017. He serves as the lead instructor of the Tappy Kraft Recovery Operations course. So again, Honghi, thank you so much for being here with me today, and let me ask you a couple questions.
Sure. I'll try.
I think we'll be just fine. And hopefully after this brief introduction, I'll do a little less talking and let you handle it. So I'll just kind of start out my spiel of, interview questions by asking you to kind of tell us a brief overview of the Kraft Recovery Boilers book and, just give us your sales pitch for it.
Yeah, this edition is the 3rd in the series of the Kraft Recovery Boiler books. Like the previous 2 editions, this one is also sponsored by AF&PA, the American Forest and Paper Association, and so the 3rd edition was published in 1988, almost 30-something years ago, and then they're followed by the second edition that published in 1997, almost 13 years ago. And so, but since that time, there are a lot of progress have been made on the recovery boiler technology, and many of these technologies really have been applied and have impacted the boiler equipment design, operation, and the maintenance practices. So we thought, or at least the committee thought, that this is time to revise the second textbook that was almost 10 years ago or more than that. But it took me quite a while to finish this one. It took only 10 years to do this. But it's that bad news. It takes so long for me because I didn't realize that it takes that much of time. I always underestimate how long it takes to complete something, and also I overestimate myself, my ability to deliver. That's my problem. But that's the bad news. But the good news is the material is quite up to date, and all the authors seem to getting a little bit older and wiser, perhaps, so the book turned out to be, I believe, that a better product.
Awesome. Yeah. So it seems like there was some real time between the first, second, and now this third edition. So knowing that this is the third edition of the manual, did you work on the previous editions 1 and 2?
Yeah, no, the first one, I wasn't involved in the first one, maybe that was 30 something years ago. Maybe I wasn't mature enough to at that time to be invited, but I was invited to author 2 chapters of the second book by Dr. Terry Adam. So the answer is not the first one, but the second one. So I did involve.
Nice. So you've been involved in the second and the third one. So all 3 editions of this book were sponsored by the Recovery Boilers Program, R&D subcommittee of the American Forest and Paper Association, like you mentioned earlier. So how did that work, kind of working with that subcommittee as well?
Yes, they're all sponsored by AMPA, the Recovery Boiler R&D subcommittee. So, well, the subcommittee consisted of representative of AMPA member companies. So they meet I believe that they meet twice a year, so one in April, one in October. So their mandates are to look for good R&D project that could help improve the boiler operation and safety, particularly safety, as well as the fundamental understanding of the phenomena that occur inside the recovery boiler. So that how that works, and so that one of the about 10 years ago they meet and they decided this is a time to divide the book, and they asked me I would honor to be asked to take the lead, and I did.
Awesome. So for those not familiar with the pulping process, what role do Kraft Recovery Boilers serve?
So this is a very good question. In fact, that's one of my favorite question. I always think that it's something that not only you, but many other the people who are not involved in the pulp and paper industry would not know. But to give you a simple answer, that is for 1,000 tons a day of pulp mill. So easy to do the calculation here. 1,000 tons a day of pulp mill. We also produce roughly 10,000, 1,000 pulp mill, right? We also produce 10,000 dilute black liquor called a weak black liquor. And then you have to concentrate it. And then so roughly you can get roughly about more than 2,000 tons of the concentrate black liquor that need to go somewhere. So what we do at the pulp mills is that we need to burn it in the recovery boiler in order to recover the combustion heat from the combustion of the organic. At the same time, to recover the chemical that we use to make pulp, to digest the wood, and so that would mean that we recover. By doing so, we recover roughly about 97% of the inorganic or the chemical. And so, but the more important role of recovery boilers, of course, that too, I mentioned that they recover the heat from the combustion, also they recover the chemical. But perhaps the main function of the recovery boiler is to safely process or eliminate the black liquor. You can imagine that if you cannot do that, pulp mill cannot survive, even to exist, because you got to black liquor, a highly polluted material. You cannot just dump into the river, right? So you got to eliminate it. And so this is the recovery boiler. It got a very important role that people tend to forget, and that is to do just that, to eliminate black liquor. At the same time, recover the chemical, recover the heat. That answer your question, I hope.
Yeah, well, I was really interested in it. I think I started thinking about how little I do know and how I probably need to read this 3 or 4 times and still probably be confused. But yeah, that's awesome. It seems like a pretty big role for the Kraft boiler. So like you mentioned earlier as well, a lot has changed in craft recovery technology in the last 20 years since the second edition was published. And this book includes a lot of research findings for work done in the interim. So can you share some of the research institutions included in this edition?
Yeah, there are a lot of the things have been, particularly, there are a lot of research organization on this planet doing this, but I just trying to list a few important ones, and that is the IPST with the Institute of Paper Science and Technology, but now they call what they call that now Renewable Byproduct Institute in Atlanta, and they did a lot of that work in the last 20 years. And Åbo Academy University in Finland, led by Dr. Mikko Huppert, and he also one of the co-authors of the book. And we have other universities like Aalto University in Helsinki in Finland. They did a lot of research on the black liquor spray and how, look at how liquor spray into the boilers and what impact that may have on the boiler combustion. Then we also have the research organization like FP Innovation, that used to be formerly the PAPICAN, Pulp and Paper Research Institute of Canada, but now the FP Innovation. They also did a lot of work related to recovery boiler. And of course, ourselves, the University of Toronto, visit entire my career is focused mostly on the chemical recovery. In fact, my own doctorate or PhD thesis was on recovery boiler deposit and corrosion. So that's how I started the whole thing. I didn't know that I did that one 35 years ago, and it's still doing the same thing now. So. But so that a lot of research has been done in this area, particularly our work in the area of chemical recovery, and of course in recovery boilers. So together, and there are a lot of conferences, international chemical recovery conferences have been around for the last, I would say, the last 20 years. Every 3 years we have one. So you can see every time we got a lot of research published, or presented at those conferences, and also a lot in the TAPI journal and so on. So yes, they are main contributor would be IPST, Åbo Academy University, and Aalto University, and FP Innovation, and University of Toronto. Of course, there are many other minor ones somewhere,
Yeah, so a lot of folks helped out with this. It seems like we're a part of the whole process. So after kind of hearing and learning a lot from talking to you just for these past few minutes, I think that I have realized that I might not be the target audience for this book. So not knowing too terribly much about the Kraft Recovery Boilers. So if you did have to say though, who would be the target audience for this manual and this edition? I'm
a little disappointed that you're not the audience.
I might need to start a little lower. I'm not sure.
Well, the intended of this book is for the research. The book is really it written in a way at the research reference, provide a quick access to literature, the recovery boiler topic, and so although the target audience mainly we were thinking that the engineering and technical and supervisory staff at the pulp and paper mill. But the book contains such a broad breadth and depth, to satisfy boiler designers, equipment supplier, consultant, student, and researcher as well. It's not just only just pulp and paper mill engineers and operator. So but it had a lot of good information in there, and so that the boiler manufacturer, designer, and other can use in their job.
So this book, what were there? 8 authors, is that right? Yes. For this one? So how did you go about selecting the authors for this this third edition of the manual?
Yeah, of the 8 authors, 6 of them, including myself, was the author of the previous book. So the choice is obvious. We don't need to. I don't need to look for a new one. And surprisingly, perhaps not surprisingly, but everyone want to contribute. Everyone want to do something, and then that's one that they really love to be part of it. So the other new 2 authors, that is the Dr. Sandy Sharp and Doug Bell, they are expert in corrosion. So, and I thought that the time that corrosion is one of the key issues in the recovery boilers. So I thought that would be nice that we have somebody I know something on the theory side, but it would be nice to have someone else know on the practical side to be involved in this. So I invite them, and luckily they both excited and contribute. So that how I chose. I didn't. It wasn't too hard to show them, to find a good one.
Yeah, so it sounds like that part of the process seemed to go pretty well and pretty easily anyways. Maybe not some of the others, but that one did. So yeah, that's really all the questions I have lined up, but I am going to hop over really quick and look at our live and see if we have some comments and some likes and things like that. And we do have a few, but it looks like we just, no questions really for you, just mostly thanks for doing this, and the book looks great, and hopefully we get some people reading more into it. So we don't really have any questions, but I will, like I mentioned at the beginning of this live, is that we were going to put all the names of the people that liked and commented and shared, and put them in a randomizer and pick a name. So what I'll do is at the end, after we kind of say our goodbyes, I will do that, and then I will share in the comments who the winner was of the book. But the caveat is that the winner needs to be in the US for shipping purposes, just because this manual is only print. We don't have it in ebook. So I'll alert the winner in the comment section of this feed and reach out to them individually afterwards to make arrangements to get them the book. But I will share my screen really quick because we do have some other awesome things going on. Let's see. I had an issue doing this last time, and I said I wasn't going to do it this time. Let's see if I can do it. Share. Awesome. Are you able to see my PowerPoint I have up here? So we have a bonus going on. So you can use the promo code PARTY25 to save 25% on your purchase of the Kraft Recovery Boilers 3rd edition. And I will also like to mention that we have 2 other virtual new release book launch parties coming up the last two Tuesdays in July. So if you want to learn more about them, you can go to taffy.org/party. But without further ado, I would like to thank you, Honghi, for joining us today as we celebrate the launch of Kraft Recovery Boilers. We appreciate your time and all you do for Taffy and the industries involved. So I guess until next time, have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you guys next week. Anything you wanted to add before we sign off?
I just want to say, Christian, thanks a lot for setting up the kind of meeting. I enjoy it.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, thank you for everything, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
All right.